Hey, hello. Is this Dave? This David? Yeah, this is. Hello.
Yes, you got me.
Okay, I got you finally. Yeah, this is Lori. And I was really hoping I was going to have my cryptozoologist protege here, but I don't know. Too many things came up for him, and he notified me at the last minute he wasn't going to make it. And I said, well, I'm not putting David off any longer. So, anyway, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm hot and I'm itchy.
Oh, is it really? Is it one of those hot and sticky?
Oh, it's sticky. And then I trimmed my hair and I didn't have my shirt on. I was a little sweaty, so I got a little bit of hair here and there that making me a little on the itchy side. But what do you do?
Yeah, that's true. But anyway,
and problem solved. But
yeah.
in the meantime.
Well, David, let's hear about you. And I think you told me you were originally from South Dakota.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I lived there, and then after my parents died, I moved to Missouri.
And why was that? What was it about Missouri?
Well, my dad had a Navy buddy that lived in Missouri, and when we were a kid, or when I was a kid, we came and visited him, and I kind of fell in love with it here. As far as just the way the countryside is, the people, I like it.
Yeah.
And the winters aren't so god-awful.
Yeah, not like the Dakotas.
Well, I mean, in South Dakota, you have a snowstorm, and I lost a full-size pickup in a drift.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I wasn't getting any younger, and winter just makes life harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And after both of my parents passed away, I thought, the hell with it.
Right.
I was getting taxed to death in the county I was living in. Property tax was unreal.
Wow.
I bought this place, and every year the property tax jumped up $100 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, when your property tax goes from $800 a year to $1,600 a year, I sold it.
Yeah. Well, Minnesota did a similar thing when I lived there. I had to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of how I spent a couple years in Pennsylvania, and it took me about 3 years to get enough money up to escape from there.
Right.
I mean, they got a tax on everything, and my God, the car insurance was 8 times higher.
Holy cow.
And wages weren't that great, so I had to start a business, and you know how that goes when you're doing, I was doing a handyman service, so I was doing a little bit of everything. You get around Christmas time, and that's pretty damn lean.
Oh, yeah. Same up here. Yeah, same.
About a month before Christmas and 2 months after.
Right.
You jump on anything you can get, even if you get it super low.
Yeah.
Part of something better than all of nothing.
Yeah, that's true. So how long have you been out in Missouri?
I moved here in May of 2007 at the end of the school year.
Oh, okay. So what, 12 years?
Yeah, this will be, yeah. And I lived here for several years, and I heard some weird stuff. And, it just seemed like the way the coyotes was kind of weird. There were lots of them, because, sometimes, I live close to the Iowa border, so a lot of times we go grocery shopping in Iowa.
Okay.
At that time, my daughter lived here. See, Iowa don't charge sales tax on food.
Okay.
And when you can drive 25 miles and save 10%.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. So you have you have adult children then? A daughter, son?
Oh, I got a daughter. She's grown and gone. She never knew there were any Bigfoots here. Which is good, or she'd have freaked out and wanted to be gone. But, she went back to South Dakota.
Okay.
And I've got a friend lives with me. His name's Ralph, since I had an empty bedroom.
Okay.
So I figured I'd fill it. He's been living here for like 5 years, and he helps me out.
That's good.
And, well, when you burn wood and stuff, and you got... I had a pretty bad accident where I shattered my left knee.
Ow.
Oh, yeah.
That's bad, yeah.
Like 13 pieces, so...
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I had to have a couple surgeries. I've got a rod in my... It goes along my shin bone with 4 screws, and then a plate on the side of my knee with 4 screws. You know, I don't have any cartilage left in the knee. Bone on bone, so I can't run.
Right.
So if I got, you know, if I'm having a Bigfoot encounter, I mean...
you just freeze.
Well, most I can do is turn and walk away.
Yeah. Have you had anything pretty close for encounters?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we catch them peeking in the windows sometimes, and
wow.
I'm gonna put some dog food in the dog dish, and this one that I call Little Andy, he's not so little anymore. He's about 10 feet tall now.
Wow.
But this was like last June. He was right outside the kitchen window, and when I came around the refrigerator, the ground where he was standing was probably about 3 foot lower than the floor.
Holy cow!
And
yeah.
I'm about 5'11".
Yeah.
And I had to slightly look up at him. And he was close enough. If the window wasn't there, I could have reached out and touched him.
Holy cow!
Oh, he ain't hurt nothing. He's just a curious kid.
So you've had, since you've lived on this property, when you were in Missouri, you went to this property originally?
Yeah, this is where I moved to because I sold my old place for double of what I paid for it. Bought this one outright, and it was what I wanted. I wanted somewhere that was where you don't have a bunch of people, and it's on a dead-end road, and it's got a house and a barn and a pond and lots of woods and good fishing and hunting, and I've always been a hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, my dad never played ball with me when I was a kid.
No.
I was never into sports. If we were going to do something, if it was hunting season, we'd go hunt.
Right.
If it was summertime, we'd go fishing.
Right.
And sometimes ice fishing.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how I grew up, you know, with the outdoors type thing.
Right.
So I've been a fan of the outdoors since I was just a little kid. Like in high school, I didn't go out for sports. I was hunting and fishing.
Right.
That was more appealing to me than chasing the ball. I mean,
right. Or being on the field, or you know, the whole thing. Right.
Well, I got a dog to chase a ball.
Yeah. There you go.
That's kind of how I feel about that whole sports thing.
There you go. Yeah, pretty much. I think I'm on. I agree.
I personally think the schools spend far too much money on these sports programs when people, when you look at the ratio of people who can become a professional athlete.
Right. Yeah, they should be spending more money on sending kids outside into the woods and learning about nature and.
Well, I think they should show them different skills like how to garden.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
What the edible plants are. Teach them what to watch out for, like the poisonous stuff and poisonous snakes and all the other kind of stuff that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have programs like that out here in Maine. They do have programs for gardening and recognizing.
Well, I think that's important, and they should teach a little more home ec and have a version for boys.
I think so.
So they don't feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
So they know how to cook. I mean, you look at the young girls these days, they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to sew. They don't know how to do nothing.
No, and you know, if the apocalypse happens, guess what? No one's going to be able to do anything except you. You could survive it.
Easily.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, in the summer, I'd take the neighborhood kids, and we'd go out in the country and survive. We brought some drinking water. That was it. We didn't bring any food.
Yeah.
We brought a little bit of seasoning, and none of us were hungry.
No, you had plenty to eat out there. Yeah.
Well, I told them you'd get, had about 6 or 7 of them. Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on just a second.
Sure.
I got a call coming in from a number I don't recognize.
Okay.
Oh, it's just a stupid healthcare telemarketer.
Yeah, of course. They call all the time.
I get nasty sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, for a while I was getting, every weekday, I would get 3 to 5 calls.
Yeah.
For over a month, and I don't know how many times you got to tell them.
Right.
Call me. Take me off your list.
Exactly.
They're trying to hook you up with someone who sells insurance in South Dakota, not Missouri. Well, that doesn't do me any good.
Oh, I get them from India and everywhere else, and I just.
Oh yeah, you get all these people you can't understand half of what they're saying anyway.
I just hang up on them. I just don't answer anymore. If I don't know the number, I don't pick up. So Dave was
a big community. Yeah. I got people all over the country.
Yeah, exactly, because of your Bigfoot thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to probably. Then I say go to voicemail and I'll listen. And if you're someone I want to talk to, I'll call you back. But so was it moving into Missouri the first time you had an encounter?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that like for you the first time?
Well, the first time was April 2nd of 2012. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of, I would say probably 70% of my 10-acre acreage is wooded. And with all this wood, and there's a lot of dead wood, I figured, well, why waste it? Why put it in a big pile and just blaze it up? I've got a wood stove and thought, okay, well, that'll help me save some money. So throwing it in a big pile and wasting it, I cut it up because the forests here are hardwood forests.
Okay.
For the most part, it's oak. There's a lot of hickory. There's a lot of black walnut mixed in. You find a few elms here and there. I got a few wild maples, and I destroy all the black locust I can find. That's got horrible thorns.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, on my first encounter, or I guess you call it more of a sighting, the previous day I had been out cutting a bunch of wood, so I had all this wood cut, and I got in my truck, and the way my property is, it's kind of rectangular shaped, and on the south side is the road and the house, and it's kind of on a finger of land on the top of a hill, and it drops off pretty steep on both sides. On the west side of the barn, there's a trail that the Bigfoot actually use. It goes right on the north side of my barn and across the face of the dam for my pond. And on the other side, there's a gully that, well, from where the barn is down to the bottom is probably almost 100-foot elevation difference.
Wow.
And, this is kind of where, in the wintertime where you've got snow, that snowpack that gets down and stays for quite a while.
Yes, yeah.
Like right on the south edge of that.
Okay.
So as soon as that melts off a little, hey, it's 20 degrees warmer. When it's 20 degrees, it's cold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now 40 degrees, you can put on a heavy flannel and go out and...
You can do, you can work, you can enjoy it.
Anything above freezing is great.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So you were hauling this wood in your truck?
Yeah, I was heading out to get my load of wood that I had cut the previous day. And I was going to make a U-turn on top of the hill where I kind of got like a little cul-de-sac trail.
Right.
And I'm coming around, and right at the edge of the tree line, I see a dark figure.
Hmm.
Now, what I was seeing, it was all black,
Hmm.
and I believe its back was to me, because I didn't see any facial features.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Wow.
no way, no effing way.
Hmm.
And I kind of looked off to the side because I knew there was this black locust tree, and I didn't want to get a flat tire, so I didn't want to run that over. And when I looked back, it was gone. But it could have one big step and been behind foliage.
Yeah.
Now, what I saw was a lot like those silhouette pistol targets of a person.
Yes. Yes.
Take the numbers and lines out. That's pretty much what I saw.
Hmm.
It appeared to be about man-sized.
Mm-hmm.
But, I made my little U-turn and went over to where my firewood was, and I looked over my shoulder a lot, and I only grabbed about half of what I had to cut.
Oh, wow.
And, because this was only 100 feet away from where I seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyway, 2 days later, I went back to look for tracks. But the leaf litter in the trees and stuff, there weren't any tracks to be found, because I don't know how wood-wise you are, but there's a lot of cover on the ground.
Yes.
If you step on it,
Yeah.
it comes back almost like a sponge.
Yeah. No, I live where I live. It's like that. I've got nothing but, leaf litter. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It doesn't leave anything,
So unless you find a track that's really fresh,
Right.
you're not going to find much.
Right. Right.
And then there's a lot of grass here, and to be honest with you, it took several years to find a track that I felt worthy of casting.
Wow.
And I've only got one cast, and that was from June 6th of last year. And it was from a young male, and I call him Maximus because he's just, he's burly even for a Bigfoot. And at that time, he's probably 7 feet tall now. He's just a little kid.
Yeah.
And he was about 6.5 feet tall, and it was a 13-inch track. And we seen him. I got one of those roll-off tow trucks where it's got, the flatbed type thing. He was I believe he was standing on the back of that hitting the mulberry tree.
Oh, really?
He was right. Because when we went out to check on the plaster cast, I seen him walk across the farmyard and then follow the fence line down into the gully.
Wow.
He, at that size, he got arms on him like an 8-footer.
Wow.
So, I mean, he's real burly. First time I've seen him was about 3:30 in the morning. I just happened to look out the front door, and he was heading towards where they bed down. And I would say he was about the size of an adult male chimpanzee. He was going on all fours, but even then his arms were like an adult gorilla's.
So you've seen him go? You've seen him go on all fours? They do similar to what bonobos do. Bonobos, they'll go on 2 legs or 4.
When you see them, they are on all fours.
Wow, that's something you never, and I'm not. That's why I wish my student were here, because I've only what we see, in the media and everything is they're always upright, and they're like another form of human. They're a hominin, but I've not heard of them being on all fours.
But when I went to check for tracks, got a little off track here.
Yeah.
When I went to check for tracks, I realized that with the slope of the hill, what I thought was about 6 foot tall was actually about 8 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
It didn't have the super wide shoulders, so I believe it was an adult female.
Okay.
And then, a week after that, my dog Boomer, I let him out, I don't know, it was like midnight or a little later, and at this time I was living alone. And I got my backyard fenced in because I don't let my dogs run.
Okay.
And he jumped the fence, and the fence is like 4.5 foot tall. My dog Rascal, he's too little to jump the fence. So I let Rascal in, and about 20 minutes later, there was Boomer at the front door. He kind of put his paws up and looking in, and I let him in, and oh God, he reeked.
Oh, wow.
He had a smell that smelled like, you know how a sweaty horse smells?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you take that, you add burnt smoke balls, and then a skunk undertone.
Oh, gosh.
This was on his back. See, now what I've come to discover is only the adult male hunters use skunk.
Yeah.
And it isn't from some gland like all these people. They use skunk.
They use actual skunk.
Think of a bow hunter.
Yeah.
In a tree. What's he do? He goes to Walmart or Cabela's or one of them places, and he gets something to mask his scent.
Right, the human smell, right?
When you're a big old smelly Wookie in the woods, you have to use what's available, and about the only thing strong enough to overpower his scent is skunk.
Yeah.
Or roadkill or something.
Roadkill, yeah. That's interesting.
Well, like, seriously, they've got a strong odor to them. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And now, the young males and the females don't smell like that. It's just
the big males.
And here they're 12 feet tall.
Holy cow.
Yeah. On all fours, they're 7.5 feet tall.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's something, I don't know. I wouldn't want to meet one on a dark night.
Well, I have several times, but this one night, well, this was like 2 weeks after I had that encounter where I seen the one. I was down in the same area, and when you inherit, when you buy an old place, this was built like right after the Korean conflict, so I don't know, 53, 54. There's a lot of junk around. I took a burn barrel and I went down to this area that was below the dam where there's kind of a ravine there where the runoff from the dam goes. And it was all full of a lot of junk. And I figured, it's kind of a fire hazard, so I guess, you get rid of the old wood and the plastic. You burn what burns and start throwing metal in a pile to haul off to the scrapyard. So I'm down there doing this, and this is kind of near the northwest corner of my property. And, it's kind of in a lower spot. And there's a hill, well, on the west side of my property, there's just kind of like an old cow path to give access to the 10-acre piece of land to the north of me.
Right.
Well, anyway, I was down there and I'm burning all this stuff, and all of a sudden from the hill to the west, I hear 6 wood knocks right in a row.
Wow.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I hear something big moving towards me. That was about the end of April, and this is when about the end of April, beginning of May, so that's right about when the trees all begin to leaf out.
Right.
Well, whatever it was settled behind a clump of oak trees that there were, I don't know, probably 7 of them that were in a clump, probably 12, 15 inches across. And it settled down there, and it was probably, 100 feet away. And I had said, it's okay, I won't hurt you. I know you're there. And I'm doing stuff, and pretty soon, I don't know if it was a pebble or a hickory nut or but something come over, flying and hitting the junk pile probably 25 feet away from me. And I kind of laughed. I said, it's okay. You don't have to hide from me. I won't hurt you. So I'm trying to communicate with it. And pretty soon another one comes, hits on some tin, and I kind of laughed a little bit. Well, then there's this creek that it's kind of a dry creek unless it rains.
Okay.
And that's just past the north edge of my property. And I hear something coming down the creek, sounds about like a blind elephant or something.
Wow.
Because I'm hearing a bunch of branches snapping and stuff. I'm not hearing any vocalizations, but I just got that thought in my head, like when rival groups of chimpanzees come together, how they'll break branches and other stuff to try and intimidate the other ones away rather than fight them.
Yep.
And that went through my head, and I thought, well, this wasn't one of my more braver moments. I thought this might be a good time to get in the truck and go up to
and get out. And that. What I'll say, you just raised a question for me on. Do they do any of the tree structures and like bending trees and moving logs and things?
Oh yeah. I also found signs of them farming.
Oh really?
Across the road. There's a pond over there. And there was kind of a teepee-type structure with 4 uprights. This one oak tree was it wasn't real big around, but it was long and straight, like a 40-footer that was snapped.
Wow.
In the middle, that part was laying on the ground, and the other part was an upright.
Interesting.
Well, on this upright, it was covered with those turkey tail mushrooms.
Oh, yeah.
But the piece of it that it was still attached to, laying on the ground, didn't have nothing.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Now, I found that to be extremely odd. Because why would you have, usually if a tree has fungus, it has it from top to bottom.
Yep. Yeah, that stuff grows through up and down the whole tree, yeah.
So I suspected that it was possibly they were farming mushrooms. And there was kind of like a little hidey hole in the brush where like a little one could get in there and be away from things. And I kind of figured the Indians learned to live with them. I was going to try too, and I reached out to them. And at that time, I still had a billy goat running around here. He was a bottle baby, so he was kind of a pet. It'd get towards night, and I'd call out to him. His name was Little Baby, and I'd call out, Little Baby, and say, are you hungry? And boy, he'd come running, and he'd get fed. So they were watching me, so they caught on to that. So I went down to that spot where I was burning, and there was this big old oak log that was kind of rotten. That was probably 2 foot across. And I had my burn barrel down there and a shovel, and I'd yell out into the hollows, are you hungry? And then I'd whack the shovel against the burn barrel a few times. I mean, it made a heck of a racket. And I'd do something, and every time I come back, it was gone. It was hard to tell what got it, so I got clever. I took down some eggs in the shell.
Okay.
Because I figure if it's a critter, they're going to eat it right there.
Yeah.
But if a Bigfoot takes it, you don't find the eggshells.
Yeah, they'll take the whole thing and walk off.
Or just pop it in their mouth and swallow it.
The whole thing. Right.
And they love maple-flavored bacon. I used to have a pretty good place where I'd go and get it, and I'd buy it for them. I tried to report, my initial sighting and talked with the game warden, and he was like, "Well, they're not a protected species, so."
Oh my gosh.
My advice is shoot it in the face. I said, "What is the matter with you?" He said, "They ain't hurting nothing."
Oh gosh.
I said, I don't have any reason to kill one.
Right. Now, you told me, I know by text that you did have, you've had people who want to come out and investigate this, but you've had trouble with them?
I've had some problems with, the first guy to come out. I got a hold of this group called the SRA, and they're up by the Twin Cities.
Oh, yeah. Minneapolis. Yeah, Minneapolis, I know.
And since they were far away, they got a hold of a guy from the BFRO, this Carter Bouchard or something. Came to investigate. And, he drove up from Kansas City to where I'm at. And we went around. I showed him some stuff. And I kind of thought that he'd stick around a little longer. And he didn't seem real intelligent as far as foot-wise. And when the female started calling and started moving in, he gets in his car and drives away. And I'm like, what the heck?
Wow. Was he just there for a day or a couple hours or?
Couple hours. And I thought, the guy was pretty green as far as interviewing people. And, he took big offense at that, and then he turned into a cyber stalker on me.
Oh, that's terrible. That's not good.
Using fake profiles and stuff just to, troll me and stuff.
Well,
and then I commented, I said, gee, maybe I should go see if your wife's got coffee on or something. Hey, if I posted your address, that'll put an end to it.
So I was going to ask you, have you had other, because I'm just wondering if this realm or this field, I spent a lot of time with paranormal investigators, and you have all kinds of interesting personalities, let's put it that way. Do you think it's similar for the people of the cryptid, Bigfoot?
Oh, yeah, it's just like the UFO people. It's a mixed bag of nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, especially in the Bigfoot community, you've got people that are in it for a lot of different reasons. Some of them want to discover the truth. Some of them are in it to get famous. Some of them are in it to try and make money. Some of them, unfortunately, want the glory of bringing in a body.
Yeah.
And then you get the people that are like the weird groupies and the people that are just plain nuts.
Yeah.
With the pareidolia, like this one woman, you can't even walk out of your house and you're seeing faces in your fence and everything else. I see, lady, you're just nuts.
Yeah, I guess I can imagine. I try to follow. Now you set up the Real Bigfoot page on Facebook, right?
No, actually, it's Bigfoot, the Real Truth.
That's what I mean. That's the one I mean. I'm sorry. I look at so many of these things I can't keep track of. Bigfoot, the Real Truth.
They all got different names.
Right. But that's But that is your page that you've created. Yes.
No, actually, Doug Blanks created it, and I took it over in February.
Oh, okay.
It had about 1,500 members, and I went in there and I put down some rules, and I kicked out all the trolls and hoaxers and fake frauds and
good.
With no profile picture. And now we've got over 13,000 members.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing something right, and we're trying to create an environment where people can tell their stories without everybody wanting to ridicule them.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. And that's hard to do, that's why you got to have rules like, well, if you're just looking to sell stuff, go to a flea market here.
Yeah.
And we've had some problems with some profanity, it's mostly the men. Drop the bomb and stuff. And we've got some kids on the site, and you should see the horrible messenger
stuff you get.
I get from them after I kick them out.
Of course.
Well, that's censorship. No, it's just saying, we expect a little bit of common decency.
Yeah,
And if you're
exactly.
going to proof your comment before you send it,
Right.
I'm not saying you can't say the F word here and there. I use it a lot myself, but I don't do it here.
Yeah, you don't want them on your forum. Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you're most welcome to leave. And
so do you find...
right?
Do you find that a lot of people, and again, I've been following what I can, but I'm following a lot of sites. Do you find that people have some comfort and are telling pretty legitimate Bigfoot encounter stories?
Yeah.
And do they share the same philosophy with you? I mean, you called yourself a Wookie Whisperer. Do they kind of share that philosophy of, hey, let's live in peace with them?
Well, yeah, I want people to understand that they're not just, like the guy who does Sasquatch Chronicles. He tries to make them out to be some evil monster that's just going to hunt you down and kill you and eat you.
Oh, that's terrible.
For ratings and because that's sells.
Okay.
Just look at all the movies out there. They always make Bigfoot out to be this horrific killer.
Yeah. Well, there's Harry and the Hendersons, and he was their friend.
Right. But that's the exception.
Yeah, that's it.
For the most part, they make him out to be the monster.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the Bigfoot tell their children, we are the monsters, and with good reason.
Well, yeah, I think I agree. I would agree with them on that. I had an interesting interview with a guy up in British Columbia, and he works with a lot of First Nations people, and he was telling me in their belief system, the Sasquatch is not even necessarily a real being, it's a spiritual being. It's real in that sense. So we were kind of discussing how they look at it and define it, and how in the modern, what do you think? What do you think of that?
Well, I understand that they have a belief that they walk between two worlds.
Yeah, that may be more what he was trying to explain to me. Mm-hmm.
Like a physical world and then not a physical world. Mm-hmm. But, well, they eat, they poop, they pee. It's a being.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not convinced on this whole portal thing.
Oh, okay, the portal.
I mean, if you want to listen to that Matthew Johnson, I tried to ask him some questions, and I don't believe anything he says. I think he's just trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
Because he lacked the details that someone who would have had the experience would have had. Like, for example, he said it took him a year to figure out how to get the portal to open. Okay, well...
How did it happen?
I said, can you describe the portal?
Right.
Was it round? Was it square? Was it arched?
Yeah.
Was it like on Stargate where it looked like a pool of water? Or did you see through it? You talk about these guardians. Well, they must have been on the other side. So what was on the other side of the looking glass?
Yeah.
No answer. No answer to none of it.
Yeah.
Oh, check out my video. Read my stupid book.
Yeah, of course. I want to make money.
And all I got from him was being very evasive, and he didn't have the details. And excuse me, I thought I was asking reasonable questions.
Right.
You figured out how to make it work. Okay, well, how'd you make it work? How did you locate it? I mean, was it something you seen one time, or I said, did you have an EMF meter near it, or even a compass, or because if there's portals around my place, I'd like to find them.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
I mean, I was just trying to ask reasonable questions, and I asked, on the other side, did you see any structures like buildings, or were there?
Right.
What was it life like? Was it the same? Was it different? I don't know.
Hey, maybe the teepee trees are the portal. I know, I'm just...
Honestly, I think most of these structures are kind of markers of the territory that the young ones and the females roam.
Ah, interesting.
Because the big males, they run the deer in the big a big circle.
Hmm.
And they travel a long ways. And they run a 3-day schedule where they'll be gone for 3 days, and they'll be around the family for 3 days.
Hmm.
And then about mid-August, they split into 2 groups. So there's always a male presence around because I believe that's when the mating season begins.
And so you've observed this sort of movement?
Huh?
You've observed this movement and timed it like how many days?
Yeah, the 3-day schedule.
Mm-hmm. And what, they sort of appear, or the trees get...
Well, you can hear them howling with coyotes because each of the male hunters, the adult males, have about 5 coyotes with them.
Really?
They use the coyotes like a shepherd uses dogs.
Wow.
I've seen this one time where I was looking to the west, and I could see the hill on the west side of my property. So it was, after the leaves had fallen, and I don't remember if it was in the fall or spring, but I could see over there, and I seen like 20 deer come just running. And then there were about, at least a dozen coyotes coming behind them. And then I see 3 big males running on all 4s behind the coyote.
Wow.
That's the only time I've ever seen, that.
Well, that's another thing that I've never seen reported, is that they work with canines.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, that's interesting, because I have, in all the Bigfoot stuff that I've seen and watched, I've never heard that. I've heard about the portals. I've heard about the UFO Association. I've never heard that they are like our ancestors and using kind of semi-domesticated canine.
Well, I believe the coyotes are completely under their control.
Wow.
And the thing is, they work together. Now, I believe they're like domesticated, and the Bigfoot is the master over the coyotes.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm not to interrupt, but as humans, our species, we did that with the wolf like 30,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, see, the males will howl if the coyote's gone, and use it to cover the sound of them talking. Sometimes the coyotes quit, and you can kind of hear them. When the coyotes stop, you'll hear like some of their language.
And so you feel that they have a language?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They're sentient beings. They got a language and a culture and all kinds of stuff. And another thing they'll use them for is intimidation. Like, here's an example. The starter went bad on my Dodge truck, and I took it off, and I asked my neighbor, I said, well, if I bring this down, when you're done with work, can you stop by the auto parts store and then have the auto parts store call me, and then I'll run the credit card, and then you got the cord and just pick one up for me? He said, yeah, sure. Just bring your old one down, put it in the back of my pickup. Okay. So I walked down to do that, and along the tree line across the road on the south, there's a couple of males, and they got the coyotes all yipping and yapping and whatever. And I put the starter in, and I'm coming back, and I just looked over, and I said to him, I just had to bring something over to the neighbors, and I'm going back home and in the house. And all the howling and whatever yippee yapping, everything, it just went silent. You're going to tell me they don't understand this. They do.
Yeah.
And, they're very curious. Another thing that they do is they'll get the coyotes going, especially like in the fall when the trees drop the leaves and everything's crunchy.
Yeah.
And they get them going to cover the sound of them moving. And they also, they torment my neighbor's dog, something terrible, to get him barking. Because
right.
he's a chocolate lab, and he's barking because there's something out there, and they'll mimic like a small dog. They'll go, woo, 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 and he bark, bark, bark. Well, while he's barking, they can move around, and if they make some crunching or whatever, you're not going to really hear it.
Right. And your neighbor, has he seen them?
No, but the one night when their oldest boy graduated high school, his wife come down with the kid and a couple of friends, and they wanted to hear some Bigfoot stories. And it was just about dark. And then there were some males howling with the coyotes after I told a couple stories, and I said to him, I said, do you really think that one, that every one of them howling was a coyote? And they did it again. Their eyes all got big, and they all piled up on their side by sides and went back down to their house.
Right. How far is their house from you?
Oh, about 2 city blocks. It's the only other.
Okay, it's not that. It's not too far away.
No.
But yet they haven't encountered or witnessed anything.
No, they go to bed early though.
Okay.
About when it's dark, they're in bed.
I see.
And I've kind of got, I'm an empath, and I pick up on things, and I'm pretty good at figuring out what motivates them and why they act the way they do. They give us the day, and the night belongs to them. And like people that are having any issues with them and stuff, the best thing I can recommend is, if it's dark, be in your house.
Yeah, a lot of people do report they have these encounters at night, maybe when they're camping, And although there have been daytime sightings, they're
not exclusively night. But as well as they can see in the dark, I'm sure direct sunlight hurts their eyes.
And
I believe they can see as well in the dark as we can in the daytime. Otherwise, how could they move around so stealthily?
Right. Yeah. So other people. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was I've got a little deck that comes off my kitchen, and it's about the same height as the gutter on the roof to my garage.
Okay.
And I let the dogs out, and I brought the spotlight out. And at that time, I was still kind of new and a little nervous, so I carried my .357 Magnum with me. But the dogs ran over to the corner of the pen by the garage, and they're just standing there wagging their tails. And I heard a crunch, and I shined the spotlight, and there was this one that we've come to call Little Andy, and he was on all fours, and he was looking back. And when I hit him with the spotlight, I gasped, because the eye shine was so intense, it come out of his eyes like daggers.
Ooh.
And it obscured his facial features.
It was so bright, so their reflective quality that usually you see with animals at night was really intense. Was it a white color, red color?
No, it was bright green.
Oh, the bright green. Okay, kind of like cats. Cats do that.
Well, like most animals you see.
Yeah, they come out like this luminescent green. Yeah.
Yeah, they're more intense than anything I've ever seen.
Wow. Did it run away with the light on it like that?
No. He kind of stood up. He's friends with my dogs. That's why they didn't bark at him. They ran over there because they were expecting to pet him.
Oh, wow.
Because my dogs are the kind that, if there's a kid around, they're going to wash that kid's entire face, I guarantee it. I won't have a vicious dog.
No, well, I thank you for that.
And that's how they were behaving. See, he was spending a lot of times in getting underneath my deck. And the dogs would run under the deck, and he'd be on it, and I didn't, before I realized they were here, I didn't know that. And so he was friends with my dogs. So they don't bark at him, except a bark like, hey, come pet me.
Right, let's play.
I'm happy, come pet me.
Now, you say you have somebody, Ralph, a guy named Ralph lives with you. Has he seen him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he's seen him.
Well, oh, yeah, his first night here, he came out from California. And because he was in an area where there just weren't any jobs, so
sure.
He needed a place for a fresh start. And I said, well, here, I'll send you a ticket, come out here. So he ain't got much, but it's got to be better than living there. Right. So he come out, and his first night here, he was sitting at my computer checking out my emails and looked over his left shoulder, and there was little Andy standing right next to the deck rail, looking through the window of the kitchen door.
Wow.
Well, my kitchen door is a steel door where it's about half glass. Those type. Well, he was on the other side of the porch railing looking through that. And then later, Ralph got up in the middle of the night because I think he had to pee or something. And he looked out the front door, and there was an adult male. And he couldn't hide behind my truck. And I've got my old Dodge. It's a 96 Dodge. It's a four-wheel drive. I've got one of those toppers that go on it that's a little taller than the cab. And I suppose the top of that's about 7 feet high. Now, he was on all fours and didn't have no problem looking over the top of that topper.
Wow.
And his arms are as big around as me.
Wow.
And Ralph was kind of, obviously in shock. And he remembered what I said to show him open palms, and he goes, I did the open palms thing. And he said, and then he kind of walked out around the truck and went through the yard off into the darkness.
So, I mean, was this like you raise your hand and show open palm? Because I know with chimps, you hold your hand up, upright.
Well, from a gal I talked to in California who has them on her property, she said one time there was an adult male and she didn't hear him, turned around and kind of freaked her out, and he showed her open palm.
Like raising it up or like holding it out?
Just had his hands down and he showed open palms like he didn't have any.
Yeah, chimpanzees do that. It's a form of submission and permission as well.
Just to let you know, just kind of saying, I'm not going to hurt you.
Exactly. The chimpanzees have a similar code.
Well, if you do that, then if you do it to them, they understand.
Right. That's what primatologists learn to do with chimps and gorillas, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so I've had quite a few encounters now. The females here, they all do different owl calls. Now, the structure of the family, it seems to be, that the big males, with them being gone a lot, and there being a significantly less number of females than males, I believe that there's an alpha female that pretty much runs the show. And, the young males act like guards over the females, but they're not like a tight group like gorillas would be. They're way more spread out.
Okay.
So these owl calls, because the foliage is so heavy.
Sure, they
now
can.
That lets the males that are the guards know who is who and where without a direct line of sight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't draw attention. But, owls don't hunt in packs. They're not wolves.
No, they don't.
You're gonna have one hunting and the other one's on the nest.
Right.
And then fall, when the babies are big enough, they drive them out of the territory because, like many birds, they all have their little niche and they all carve out their little territories. And you start hearing 3, 4, and 5 of them, and you're not hearing any fighting. They're probably not owls. I've had people make fun of me saying, "Oh yeah, it's just owls," And it's like, yeah, whatever, idiot. You don't know.
So they imitate the sound, but they're not communicating in the same manner that owls would.
No, and they do different. Their calls are all different.
Okay.
Like one will do a single hoo, and then one will go hoo 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 hoo, and another one will do hoo 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 hoo, and then when they get excited, it'll morph to like a crow, and then they get sounding like excited chimpanzees and stuff. I've got some recordings that I'll.
Yeah, I'd like to listen to more.
At some point here, like right now, Ralph's on the computer.
Oh, no hurry. Let me tell you, I've been so delayed on this production. It'll get there, but lots of things have been coming up, so.
Some of it unedited, and I've had a problem here with the power company and the way their power goes on and off and flickers and everything, that it burns out the hard drive in my computer.
Man, yeah.
So I've been having to recover a lot of stuff from original sources, and I didn't have anything exactly written down as to what was where, but certain things I know.
Well, if you have some photos that, we can run, and I can, a nice photo of you even, and, a little bit, if you want to write a short little bio. I mean, I've asked you kind of what your background is, but just to give people an idea. I'm not going to divulge where you are, but just say, and the fact that you have other people on your page that, like the woman in California, they're living with these beings. They're sharing property with them, right?
Yeah. Oh,
and they don't seem to have an issue, right?
No.
Right.
Yeah, and the guy down the road is an old biker, and he's had them where they actually put like his tools away in the shed for him.
Wow. So
one thing that we've got a problem with is machetes disappearing.
Oh, wow.
Well, they usually bring it back, but it's bent up, but I lose about one a year. And it's a little handy because Ralph likes to chop stuff with a machete, so he imitates.
Yeah.
Here's a nice, funny little story that you'll like. I bought Ralph for Christmas or his birthday a really nice machete, a Tomahawk brand. I mean, it's not like the flimsy piece of junk you buy at the Harbor Freight store.
Right.
I mean, it's a nicer one. It was made out of some pretty thick material, and it's just nice. We've been out cutting wood. Now, usually when we cut firewood, we like to do it after the leaves drop. Because there's a lot of poison ivy. Then you don't get the poison ivy. You don't have to deal with the ticks. It's cold. You don't have to worry about the poison snakes. You can just go cut your wood and do your thing. And so we were actually cutting on the neighbor's property where he had an area where when we had a drought, about 1 out of 3 trees died. So he said, "You're more than welcome to come over and clean that out." He goes, "You get rid of all the crap that needs to go."
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Cut stupid stuff. He goes, "You get rid of the stuff that needs to be gone.
Right.
You don't make a mess doing it."
Right.
We were over there, and I think we got a couple of pickup loads of wood out of there. I run the saw, and Ralph usually carries up logs, and then a lot of times when it's winter, we bring the logs in the basement where it's warm, and then use electric saws and cut it down. So you don't have to be out in the freezing cold.
Right, right.
But he had, his machete, he forgot it there.
Oh.
And there was a stump that was probably 12 inches across, and this was red oak.
Yeah.
And he just kind of whacked it in at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Just enough to make it stick.
Yeah.
Okay. We go back over there 2 days later, and he goes to look for his machete, and it's in this stump.
Oh.
But it's not a 45-degree angle anymore.
Oh.
It's going horizontally, and there's about 4 inches of wood behind the back side of the cutting edge.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It took him probably 5 minutes to get that worked out of that.
Oh, my God. That would have been a lot of force.
The force it would have taken
Yeah.
to drive a machete probably 6 inches into a oak stump that was 12 inches across.
Yeah.
Now, one time, Ralph had got a machete down near the creek, and he went down there, and he found it about 30 feet from where it was. And you know those old grapevines, those wild grapevines, they get pretty good size.
Yep.
There's one probably about as big around as my forearm. And Ralph seen some tracks, and he seen that had been cut with one chop.
Wow. So, something's been doing that. Yeah, that's powerful.
Well, you know, you look at it, a male chimpanzee, what is he? 160 pounds and 5 times as strong as a human.
Yeah.
Scale it up.
Well, and the other thing, too, I know when you talk about tools, there has been film footage of orangutans, for example, using saws to cut limbs in the wild. They've watched loggers. They've watched loggers do it, and when the loggers leave the camp, they will just imitate the action. They don't do it.
I did find a stone tool.
Oh, wow.
And it was in the northeast corner of my property, kind of near where the creek is, where they go through at night, and there's a lot of activity. Without cutting firewood, and I like to do, as a hobby, some prospecting and stuff. So I'm always looking at rocks, and I saw this one, and it was on top of the leaf litter. I've got some pictures of it and stuff, but it's a piece of granite, which is not a native stone to this area, so it was left by a glacier. And it's got a clean break on one side, and it's about 6 inches square and about 3 inches thick. And the one end's got a clean break. The other end, they've used it to hammer the hell out of something. I don't know what. You could see where a couple of chips came off the length of it, but the one end is really worn. And I picked it up and I kept it because, I mean, how rare of an artifact is that in a Bigfoot tool? Now, I know it wasn't some Native American tool because there was no dirt on it, and it was top of dry
it was
leaf.
on top. It was not underground. Right.
No, there was no dirt on it at all. It was on top of dry, dead leaves.
Yeah, well, that's an amazing find. Yeah, if you got pictures of that, that'd be great.
I do.
Yeah.
Now, I scouted around the area to see if I could see what it was being used for. Because when I looked at it, now I didn't see any like greasy deposits on it, like it was being used for cracking open bones for marrow. I didn't see any oily on it, like if they were trying to smash hickory nuts with it, because they're really hard.
Yeah.
But they're good. And I didn't see, you know, it kind of looked a little powdery, so I assumed that they must have either used it, I'm thinking, to make another tool.
Could be.
Use it as a hammer.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know what they mean. But now, something about the ones here, they're all jet black, they're really shaggy, and they have their bangs cut.
Oh, interesting. So you can see their face. I mean, there's no hair in the face.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
You know how the Patterson Bigfoot is?
Yes, yeah.
How she's got, like, mustache and kind of short
facial hair.
They're like that, all of them. Their skin is gray. Like, you know, like those solid gray kitty cats, that color is gray and dull. Now, I've seen, well, like I said, that time I seen little Andy, we were about face to face. Now, one time, Ralph and I had gone grocery shopping, and we could hear the females calling and stuff before we left. And it was after dark. I like to go when you don't have all the whining kids and the old women that every step you take, they're cutting you off 100 times. And I don't like being around a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I live remote. I'm kind of like a hermit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times. And we got back, and I get out of the truck, and there's this extremely loud, ooh, I mean, it scared me.
Mm.
So they've been watching over my home while I was gone.
Hmm.
So Ralph was bringing in the groceries, and I was exchanging calls with her, and then I made a sandwich, and she was in behind some hickory trees, and I don't know if you're familiar with how the leaves on a hickory tree are, but they're kind of like on a rubber tree plant.
Yeah.
So it was hard to see her. So I made a sandwich, and I was trying to coax her out to take a sandwich from my hand because I wanted to get a better look at her because she was behind the hickory, and you know, it's 20 feet from the house. And I've had them come in the house several times.
They've come in your house.
Yes.
Wow.
Now the first time was in the daytime, and I got, you know what a Z-bar door is?
Explain it to me.
Well, it's a bunch of boards that go straight up and down that are usually, you have a tongue and groove that lock them together. And on the back side, you've got wood that holds them together in a Z shape.
Oh, okay. Yep, now I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Okay, that's what my basement door is like.
Okay.
Well, I had the basement door, the frame's kind of chopped together from the previous owners. But to hold it good and tight and shut good, I had a 2x10 propped up against it.
Okay.
And the door was forced open. And pretty much about knocked the frame loose, and I had to do some fixing on that. And that was in the middle of the day. Of course, the dogs went completely nuts when the door got forced open. So I scraped myself off the ceiling and grabbed the shotgun and went out the front door and come up in through the garage. Couldn't find nothing.
Wow.
But that door was forced open, and the center board in it was cracked.
So you think it was one of them that got in?
The human would have made more noise trying to get away and wouldn't have had a chance to get away by the time I was out there.
Right. Right.
'Cause I had the side-by-side shotgun with deer slugs in it.
No, boy.
Well, I wasn't sure, you know, if I had to defend myself, I wanted something to take down an elephant.
Well, of course. You don't know. You could have people trying to break in. Even though you're remote, people find their way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
People are scarier than most things.
And then one time,
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, and I went to let the dogs out, and I couldn't get the kitchen door to open.
Oh, boy.
I had to take the doorknob apart. Oh, well, try coming in.
Oh, wow. And wrecked the
Oh, yeah.
door.
Well, they've since figured out how to open the door. Yeah.
Wow.
Here's kind of a funny one.
Well, how close have you gotten to one?
Well, let's see. One time I was sitting out here on the deck, and I heard his stomach growling, and it wasn't mine, so he was directly beneath me. Is that close enough?
Yeah, that's pretty close, but you heard him.
When I tried to hand feed that female,
Yeah.
I was able to get within 7 feet of her, and then she retreated.
Oh, wow, that's pretty close.
That was an adult female, and that's out in the open. But, you know, like I said, when I caught little Andy peeking in the window, if the glass wasn't there, I could have reached out and touched him.
Wow. Yeah, if they're looking in the window and you're sitting right there, that's pretty close. Yeah.
Well, I was with actually, because right next to the refrigerator, I've got a plastic trash can that I use as a dog food bin. And I was going to reach for the scoop, and there he was, and it's like, damn.
Wow.
And we locked eyes for, I don't know, a couple seconds, and he turned and was gone into the darkness.
Right, so, I mean, granted, think of it. I mean, if it was a bear... No, but I'm just saying, you know, bear, depending, but bear don't hesitate, you know what I'm saying? Bear would come right in. bear, if you give bear a chance, they'll take advantage, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not the sense you get from the Bigfoot, that they don't really, they're curious.
Yeah. We
right?
don't have any bears here.
Oh, you don't have any? But I'm just looking at the difference of behavior. Like,
Now, another thing that I noticed is missing from here is poison snakes.
oh, really?
When I first moved in, I think it was a pygmy rattler, I'm not sure.
Mm.
When I shot it, its head disappeared, so I didn't really get a good look. But anyway, I haven't found any poison snakes on this property.
So do you think they keep them away?
I think that they use them as a food source.
Mm.
And, you know, you look at it like this. An adult could probably take a hit from one of them and make him sick, but it wouldn't kill him.
Yeah.
But what about one of the little kids?
Mm.
What about a 3, 4, 5 foot one get hit by one of them? That could potentially kill a child.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe they eliminate the threat to their children.
Mm.
And I also believe that since Missouri is the state with the second most cases, only Tennessee has more, that we got, I think they know where the snakes live, and I believe they use them as a food source when it's cold.
Yeah. They can go and get them in hibernation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And I'm sure they know everything.
Mm.
They know the forest, it's their home.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that they're gonna hit them when it's cold, take them out, and it's like having a refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
See, people think that a lot of times that they migrate, and they're not.
Ah.
But what the cold weather offers them is food preservation that they don't have in the warm time of year.
Right. Have you seen them in the winter?
In the winter, if there's not snow.
Oh, if there's not snow.
If there's snow on the ground, they stay way deeper woods. And you can hear them howling, but they don't come up close.
I see.
Where they leave tracks to be found and followed back to their home.
Okay.
Because I think where they bed down is probably about a half a mile from my house.
Oh, okay.
No, I respect them, and I don't go over there because if it's daytime and they're sleeping, the last thing you want to do is go over there and surprise one, because that's when stuff can go bad.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to, mess with their territory, provoke something. Have you had other people? Go ahead. Go ahead. What?
You want to know how smart they are?
Okay, I want to hear how smart they are.
When Ralph and I were gone one time, he'd gone to culinary school, and I bought him this really nice chef knife, okay? Mm-hmm. And that night, Ralph's giving me the dirtiest looks, and I'm like, well, what seems to be the problem? And he shows me his chef knife.
Oh.
And about a couple inches towards the tip is kind of bent.
Ooh.
Was kind of curled over.
Wow.
And he thought I did it. And I said, why would I do that? I said, I bought the thing for you.
Yeah.
And, well, we figured out, we found some cans of fruit missing.
Ah.
The fat cans that are bigger around than like a vegetable can.
Yes.
They were missing out of the cupboard. And little Andy must come in the house and used Ralph's chef knife to open them cans. Another time, I'm driving around a 1-ton pickup now, 1-ton dually, and we got a vehicle inspection here, and mine didn't pass inspection because there was a bracket on the suspension that was cracked. Well, rather than spend a whole bunch of money, I just went to the welding shop and had the guy weld that crack, to fix the problem. So,
right.
while I was gone, Ralph was home. He didn't feel good. He had an abscess tooth, so I just left him sleep. Now, when I got home, his eyes were all big. And he said, the dogs kept bugging me and waking me up. And he goes, I got up, and the first thing I noticed, he said, the kitchen door was wide open.
Oh, goodness.
And then what I noticed was the bread was on the floor.
Oh, my goodness.
So then I noticed, you know those big jars of Vlasic pickles you can get at Walmart that, I don't know, tall as a milk jug?
Yeah.
There's one of them on the counter. And, you know, that wooden kitchen utensils, you get a set where it's got like a meat hammer and a wooden spoon and a slotted spoon and a fork.
Yep.
Well, the fork was in this jar, and just about every pickle was gone out of there.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was on the counter. So he'd gotten into the refrigerator, and at that time we just didn't have a whole lot of stuff, but he got in there and he got the pickles, and I guess he liked them because he ate well over a quart worth of pickles.
Wow. And you know a bear would not do that. A bear would not be able to do that. You know.
No, a bear wouldn't be able to get the lid off.
No, or use a utensil, you know.
Or use that fork.
Yes.
Because that was on the other side of the sink in the dish rack.
And the fact is, Ralph was home and he was sleeping, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he probably figured that Ralph went with me, because usually when I leave, Ralph is with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a big old 1-ton truck with a 460 and the rather exhaust, you can hear that. So
yeah, he would have heard the truck go.
He figured the truck was gone, so we were.
Yep.
But yeah, that's another thing. That's the time he come in. Ralph got pretty excited about that.
Oh boy.
And then one night, it was about 3 in the morning, basement door got forced open.
Wow.
I went and checked it out, and what we found was the sheath to Ralph's machete laying on the basement floor.
Oh, goodness.
And the next day, we found the machete laying in the driveway.
Interesting.
It was hanging bent up.
Wow.
Now, with these one old rusty machetes I had that eventually didn't come back, we would find where, like, the blade edge was kind of folded, and it almost looked half round, like pencil size.
Huh.
And the only thing that I can figure out that was causing that is hitting a metal T-post, like along the fence line.
Right.
That's it. The only thing I can think of. So it'd come back, you know, and I'd kind of pound them out.
Yeah.
Take the file and give it a good sharpening, and then we just to where we were keeping the machete in a crack along the front porch between the boards, because I've got an open porch along the front.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's got the regular deck-type boards, and they got a gap in them, so we just kind of stick it down in there. He'd borrow it and usually bring it back, but then one time it didn't come back, so I don't know.
They could have forgotten it, lost it. It fell into the creek. I don't know. Yeah.
He broke.
But but what's interesting is, again, they're using tools. They're using human tools. They're comfortable enough to come in and make themselves at home where you are.
I had a hatchet disappear for a while. And the last time I seen it, Ralph was using it. And there were some logs, and he was going along with the hatchet, chopping off some of the little twiggy branches off it. And that was like right along the driveway on the other side of the dog's fence. Now, I had said to him, he's got a bad habit of not putting stuff back where he got it from. So it's like, well, I looked for it, and I can't find it. Where is it? Well, no. I said, well, no, I ain't going to cut it. I said, I've had that hatchet since I was a kid, and I want it.
Wow.
Well, the next day, he found it.
Yeah.
And it was where he had used it last, over there. Now, it couldn't have been there because he'd mowed there a couple times, and he surely would have hit it with a lawnmower. Okay, so how did he know to bring it back? How did he know exactly what I wanted? How did he know what a hatchet was?
Yeah.
It's not a thing you use every day. Now, another thing that I had happen one time, I got some peach trees.
Mm.
And they were looking pretty good. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And pretty ripe. And it was getting towards the evening. I said, well, them look about ripe. I think I'm going to come out tomorrow and get me some of them.
Uh-huh.
I come out the next day, and off both trees, every last peach was gone.
Holy cow.
Gone.
That wasn't very nice of them.
No pets, no nothing. They got every last one of them.
Holy cow.
Now, here's a funny one.
Mm.
When Chris from the SRA came down here, and he wanted to put up, I think it was when he came down and put up some trail cameras.
Okay.
And he come down and said, well, I'll show you how we do it down here. And I drove down to my spot, and he was kind of standing out in the front yard, and I howled out into the woods, are you hungry? And beat the shovel up against the burn barrel a few times, and he goes, boy, you got to settle along. I could hear you really well.
Mm.
And I get back up, and as soon as that happened, there's a wood knock.
Oh, yeah.
And he perked up, because that came from the next hill up to the north.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I kind of took it as an all clear.
Mm.
And then about 3 minutes later, we heard my shovel hit the burn barrel 3 times.
Oh, my God. And you guys weren't there. You guys weren't there.
We're standing in the front yard.
Wow.
And he just kind of rolls his eyes over at me like, are you putting me on or what?
So he set up trail cams. Did he catch anything on those?
No, just deer.
Oh, okay.
A couple of raccoons and a possum. But the one odd thing was there were no fawns with the deer.
Oh, interesting. Mm.
He got 4,500 pictures. What it did do was they avoided them and they stayed back. Now, it was like a month and a half later, he come down and he went through them, and this one, there was a weed or something, so it was almost like running the time lapse.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
4,500 pictures go through. It was where I had seen a big male just on my neighbor's property.
Oh.
Because it was about 10:30 at night, and I heard some tin noise. And my neighbor has a car trailer, and there was a camper, and there was a car, like a demo car. And I didn't know if it was, kids or junkies or somebody out trying to steal gas out of that car or what. But like a good neighbor, I grabbed my spotlight and my pistol and went to check it out. And when I drove down and shining the spotlight along all the way down to the neighbor's place, I didn't see nothing. Then I backed into the neighbor's driveway so I wouldn't shine my lights into the house.
Okay.
And when I come back, and I was shining, and then I hit the clearing, and it was about 50 feet away from me, and there was a lot of dust, and in that spotlight, it took me a second, a couple seconds to figure out what the heck it was. But it was a male, an adult, on all fours, 11.5 feet tall. His arms were big around his knee, and I'm not skinny.
Wow.
And he looked, he just froze. Well, I had my pistol up because until the dust cleared down a little bit, I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at because, like you said earlier, everybody expects him to be walking like a person upright.
Yeah, that's usually what everybody says, yeah.
And he was on all fours. And so I tried to talk to him. I said, I'm not going to hurt you. Well, once I realized what it was, I laid my pistol on the seat. I thought, all this is going to do is make him mad. And I'm thinking, oh, God, don't let him charge. Because he looks big enough where if he was juiced up, he could pick up my whole truck and go a half block. But he just stood there, on all fours, and he'd look at me, he'd look ahead, and I'm just like, I won't hurt you. I don't want to hurt your family. Can we live in peace? And finally, he went with the most, you wouldn't think something so big could be so graceful. And he went all fours, and he went through this open spot onto my property. I pulled the truck up ahead and shined the light, and he was gone. Now, there was kind of a dip there. He could have laid down, or he could have took a left, and a couple of steps, been, out of sight. I don't know. He kind of went towards the pond, but when I pulled up in the yard, I drove the truck almost all the way up to the porch.
Wow.
But, if they want to get you...
No, if they, there have been reports, I mean, they've been documented, in the press and stuff of people who've been attacked. We had a couple, and it was many years ago, and here in Maine, where allegedly a logger got killed by one. That was a news piece. Yeah.
But they're usually not going to do something like that. And many of these people that the so-called experts, I think, are pretty much idiots. They just don't know. The people that know are people like me that live where they're at. Most of these big-time researchers are nothing more than glorified scams. And they do what the BFRO does, which is not finding nothing, going out screaming like an idiot in the middle of the night and scaring the hell out of the poor.
So is that the BFRO? Is that the group out of Kansas City?
Yeah, but the BFRO from the show.
Oh yeah. That's right. There's that show that they're. Yeah, so you mentioned this guy named Chris SRA. Where is that out? Is that Minneapolis?
He's with that group. He actually lives in Wisconsin.
Okay.
But he's a pretty cool guy. He's come down here a couple times.
Okay.
And I since I got this crippled up leg, I can't really do as much exploring stuff as I'd like to. So he does a bunch because I pulled up the place on Google. On Google Earth, and that way I could say, okay, you see here. I said, here's where I hear them. Here's where they're calling from. Here's where I think that they go at night.
Okay.
So it's like they pretty much travel this pattern, so it'd be a good place to look and find structures and stuff.
So when he comes, I mean, he is respectful of your privacy, and he's not bringing a whole bunch of yokels down to.
Oh no.
Oh, that's good. That would be something to worry about.
Buddy, Andy down.
Yeah.
And Andy was part of the SRA for a while, but he's since left.
Yeah.
And he's the one I named Little Andy after.
Ah, okay.
Because the guy's last name is Peeper.
Ah.
And this young Bigfoot liked to peek in the windows. So Little Andy.
Oh, that's cute. So you named him after an actual Bigfoot researcher.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's cute. But
Absolutely. Now the first time I got really up close with Little Andy was I whistle to the females. Where they'll do their owl call and I'll do like a 4-toot whistle. And that way and I use the same whistle all the time. They use their calls that identify them to the other ones, and that way I do mine where it's different enough that I'm not trying to trick them.
Right.
It identifies me as the human male.
Right.
Now, I was whistling to them, and I could hear they were along the ridge to the east on the other side of the gully.
Yeah.
And there were three of them calling to me at that time. And I could hear one of them start moving towards me.
Yeah.
Going down to the bottom of the gully. There's an old car down there that got pushed down the hill. I don't know when. It's, I don't know, early 50s old Mopar.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you. An Americana or something like that was the model.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's down there, and the hood was off it. I heard him step on the hood.
Huh.
You could hear that crinkle.
Yeah.
And then I could hear a little bit of the leaves, a little bit. And then, you know how it sounds like when you pivot on one foot on gravel?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I heard that, and the yard light is out in the front, and the house shades it. So back here it's pitch black.
Ah.
And then I see him. He's standing 15 feet away from me in the driveway, the other side of the fence. And I'm thinking, well, now what do I do?
Wow.
And, you know, it's one of them moments where think fast.
Yeah.
Now what do I do? And I thought, oh, right on the kitchen counter, I got a bundle of Tootsie Pops at the dollar store that I was going to put out for him.
Ah.
So I grabbed that, and I got a little two-person booth, like out of a restaurant, on my desk. So on the table part of it, I got that. I'm peeling them things as fast as I can. I'm tossing them over the fence to him. And I heard about 3 of them thud when they hit him. And he's looking for him, and then I called my mentor, Richard Hucklebridge. He helped me out a lot when I first began.
So he's a Bigfoot expert, or?
Yeah, he's with David Pilates' group.
Okay.
He does the intake reports and everything.
Oh, okay.
He's a retired search and rescue deputy sheriff.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his 80s, early 80s. Hell of a great guy.
Now, where is he located? He in your area, or?
He's in California.
California. Okay.
But he's a wealth of information.
Okay.
And we've gotten to be pretty good friends. Anyway, I called him and I said, now what do I do? He goes, well, sit down. Maybe they'll come to you. And I sit down and this stupid straight talk phone drops the call.
Oh.
So there's poor old Richard. I mean, he's a guy at that time in his late 70s, so he thinks I got.
Oh no, that's got to be scary.
and so I call him back, and while I'm doing that, then the young Bigfoot took off.
Oh, he left. But
went back over to the rest. Well, the next day I went out and looked, and he left all the grape ones, all the orange and red colored ones he took.
Oh, interesting. So he's picky. He's picky.
So I don't know if he shared them or not, but he had a mouthful of them and went back over by Mom and the rest of them.
Ah, boy.
So I don't know if he shared them or not, but he went.
Yeah.
Now, there was another time where I've since gotten a little more lazy and don't go all the way as far as I used to leave them a snack once in a while.
Yeah.
I took a landscape timber and put it in the ground like you would a fence post. So it's about 6 foot tall.
Okay.
And near the top, I nailed some sheet aluminum around it to keep critters from climbing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going out and going to leave the girls a snack because it seems like they're the ones that interact with me the most. Some of the younger ones. And I'm going out there, and the way my barn is set up, it used to be a dairy barn, so it's got a section that's tall in the middle, like for storing hay, and then it's got, how like a lean-to comes off each side.
Yep.
Okay, that's shorter. So I got one of them off each side, and then on the north side, there's a lean-to that comes all the way across. And on the west side, there's one of those doors that is on a track.
Yeah.
At the top of it that slides open.
Yeah.
For that bay. As I get to that bay, I hear this growl.
Ooh.
In there. And the ceiling in there is probably about 12 feet tall, and it's at least 10 foot. And if you ever had a no shit moment, this was it.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. A growl. I mean, woof. Was a very deep, was a really deep one?
In a big dog and a bear.
Whoa, that's scary.
Well, here's what happened. He was in there, and I was in front of his escape. He probably felt trapped. So I had to think fast, and I'm like, think fast, think fast.
Yeah.
What I did was I turned my back to him. Because it let him know that I trusted him, that he wasn't going to hurt me. Let him know I wasn't trying to trap him, and I just went on about my business like he wasn't there, like he belonged.
Right.
But that's the only time I've ever felt threatened by him.
Now, did you hear him? Did he leave? I mean, did you hear him leave?
I put the little treat thing on the top of the post that was right there, and I turned around and I walked back to the house.
Oh, you just turned your back and just left him.
I just acted like he wasn't there.
Okay.
But, the thing I find is treat them like they belong.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I like that. And I'm gonna have to end this now because my phone battery is gonna die any minute here. But hey, so Dave, this is really good. I've been recording this so I can go back and listen to your stories, and if I can, I'll probably get in touch with you again if I have other questions.
Oh, I've got a ton more stuff.
Oh, I'm sure you have a ton of stuff, and I know I've got a limited space in the magazine, but and I want to get I want to get Nate to talk to you because he's running a podcast on Bigfoot stories. He's also had his encounters. That's why I wanted him to talk to you, because he's had the tree structure activity in one of the camps that they have up in northern Maine. And he's very, very intrigued with this. He's a very young man. I mean, I don't know. If he's 20, he might be 20. But he's really, really interested, and I've got to have him talk to you. Absolutely. I mean,
well, I'm going to send you a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of pictures of things.
Bring it on. Bring it on. And if I have more questions and I can find the time, then I'd love to, chat with you some more and see how I can. Now again, we're trying to put a magazine together, and you'll probably have at least a full page on what this is. But like I say, I wish I could devote a whole book to this.
Well, here's the thing. I'll forward you the series written on me called The Wookie Whisperer.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see that.
Now, in the one where it talks about the hairy ladies,
yes,
there is also a recording in there where they get going from howl to crow to chimpanzee. And now I've got this one. Do you have Dropbox?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I'll forward you a couple of recordings. Now there's this one, and I'll tell you what to listen for.
Yeah. And
where the spots are, but the one is really kind of funny.
Okay.
But I believe that it proves that they do the owl calls. I'm interacting with them doing the owl calls. Well, when I was here alone, it was a little scary. So this particular night, I probably had about 10 double shots of 100 proof courage before I came out.
Yeah.
So I was in a good mood. And I come out and I go, "Where's my naked hairy girl?" And they respond.
Oh, gosh. That's cute.
And a little over 2 minutes into it, you can hear this rock. Ripping through the tree. And it hit the roof of the tin shed on the other side of the driveway.
Wow.
And it was loud as a gunshot.
Wow.
Now, birds of prey are real spooky.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like a gunshot. Any owl would have been long gone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they don't hang around.
Then they continue to call, and the owl calls almost sound like they're mixed with weird words that you don't understand.
Right.
But it's kind of funny. But you got to realize I had a decent buzz going on.
Yeah. Well, why not?
I mean, people make fun of me over that, but the thing is, I think it gives them definitive proof that they do the owl calls like the barred owl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, other places, like Richard told me about this one valley, they were all doing rooster calls in the middle of the night.
Yeah, interesting.
All around the valley, but they raised a lot of chickens there.
Wow.
So see, something that would blend in and not draw attention. But roosters don't crow at night.
Yeah, they don't.
Neither do, and crows don't crow at night.
No, they don't. Nope.
So
why would you be hearing those noises? Yeah. But yeah, send me anything you've got, okay? And then I'm gonna get on this. I mean, granted, everything's slow because my fall semester is gonna start, so I've got a lot of stuff I'm doing to
Are
get
you
ready.
in college then?
Yeah, I teach anthropology at.
Oh, you teach?
Yeah, I'm a professor of anthropology.
Now,
among
here's
other
a question
things.
for you.
Yes.
Do you believe that they have psychic abilities?
I don't know much about them, you see, but I've been spending about.
I believe they do. And I believe they're, from what I've talked to with people, they are attracted to empaths. I'm an empath.
Yeah, and that would make
dreams
sense.
of the future and all kinds of weird shit. And I've had a female communicate with me, a young one, in my dreams for about a year, and then.
Well, you see, this British Columbia, this guy from Canada I was talking to, who's a spiritualist, and he's spent a lot of time again with. He's not First Nations, but he spends a lot of time with them, and they look at the Sasquatch as being very spiritual. They're very significant in human lives. They represent something very powerful, and and if they do go between both worlds, that would be something that would make them very, telepathic and able to do those things, right?
Well, that's why I said, like with the hatchet.
Yeah. It knew that you wanted that back.
Yeah. And I can't grow tomatoes here for nothing.
Yeah.
I had 24 plants one year and got 6 tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, this is
definitely like that one where the rock gets thrown.
Yeah.
And I just kind of go, oh, throwing shit. And then I laugh, ha, 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 ha. You little shit,
Yeah.
And it was like the females liked that. And I gained their respect that night because I didn't show them any fear.
So again, I don't know much about them. I've been interviewed as an anthropologist on this topic. I mean, I think I know more about primates than I would Bigfoot, but what you're telling me reminds me of research that's been done with that they've witnessed chimpanzees doing. They believe chimpanzees now have entered the Stone Age. Orangutans have used human tools. Why not? Why not our sort of primate, American primate?
Here's another thing. They do not have a mid-tarsal break in their foot.
No, yeah.
Don't listen to that idiot Meldrum because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, I have no clue on that. I live right. Look, the Cryptozoology Museum is right down the road from me. And I know Lauren Coleman a bit. He's like one of the authorities as well on this. But I work with other people at the museum, and they're open to a lot of information like what you're telling me. I think sometimes some of these other guys, like the big shots, they're pretty closed-minded. They don't want to hear another interpretation of what they think is going on. And I'm sure you've run into that.
I'll explain.
Hello?
Oh, just a second.
Yeah.
What, right? You leaving? All right, bye. You got to go to work. Anyway, that mid-tarsal break, the way it's formed, it's a composite footprint. It's from when they're on all fours.
Okay.
I'll give you a perfect example. If you take your hand, you curl your fingers
underneath,
curl your fingers, tuck your thumb in, and put weight on it.
Yeah.
Where's all the weight?
What's going on here?
On the heel of your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they go on all fours, they use a hand to clear debris out of the way that'll give them away.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And then the foot steps on top of the handprint so they don't leave all these tracks.
So then it looks like it's got the break, right?
The heel of the hand
Mm-hmm.
sinks in deeper than the big wide foot.
Hmm. Yeah.
There is your mid-tarsal break. It's caused from the heel of the hand.
Right, and then it's like a double impression.
Yeah, it's a composite.
Yeah,
foot.
composite, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, this is good. This is all good information because, again, this is not what you see or read about in most reports. And it means that you're being very observant and you're being very analytical. And like I say, I do want to get back on the phone with you or get Nate to talk to you, because when I tell him this kind of stuff, he's got to talk to you.
Well, I mean, this is what someone who lives with them and interacts with them is going to be able to tell you.
Right.
These people that, I had one encounter, I wrote a book.
No, no, there's a difference. And again, I'm going to look at your page more to note other people who are, like you said, there's a woman in California. I just want to see how many reports of people who are living with them.
Now, I have another group that I call the Wookie Whisperers.
Right.
Where I've written a whole bunch of different articles in there that are very informative, like as far as footprints and stuff, and and like Bigfooting on the budget. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Where I got all the I went on that Wish site.
Yes.
And found all the shit you need to get going for about $100.
Wow.
With that, I had a set of walkie-talkies. I had 2 GoPro-style cams and a camcorder, audio recorder, and one of them rechargeable lamps that go on your head.
Yes.
Really great. All of that for a $100 bill.
Wow.
And if you ever need SD cards, go on that site.
Okay.
But the trick to it is you gotta do your search and then look through the whole page, because they might have the same thing list, and it'll come up at 5 different prices.
Okay.
But you can get like the SD cards for like $1 a piece.
Okay.
Instead of like $5 at Walmart.
Yeah. Well,
like I said, I'll send you.
Yeah, send me
information, and you can sort and sift and figure out.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe you want to do a continuing thing.
Well, yeah, we'll see, because what we're hoping is this publication will continue. We're going to try and I was hoping to get a first issue out this month, but delay. So it may not get out till September, October, to be honest, because I'm doing most of the work, and I'm still waiting on articles from a couple of people, and I don't know. It's just it's coming together slowly but surely.
Right.
And it's just one of those things.
Some of those pieces that I wrote in the Wookie Whisperer.
Yes.
You're more than welcome to publish them.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That would be a huge help, actually, because I'm a writer too, but I don't want to have it all my writing. You understand? It's like I want my students, and I've got a couple of other writers I know contributing, but you don't want to have a magazine with just one person, doing all the writing. That's not good.
No, and I'll be honest, I could hook you up with different people.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we have no budget. We got nothing. I'm running this on air. We're just trying something. We're going to put it out there online. I've got a URL. I've got to build a website, and we're hoping, people are going to want to see it, and maybe they'll buy it, pay 99 cents for a download or something. But it is a huge labor of love, let me tell you.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And every time you want to get something together, this person isn't ready when the deadline comes.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I don't I'm not running it like I used to. I've worked in the publishing industry, and I'm not going to run it like that. If we get a decent issue out and ready by October, I'll be happy, and then we'll see where it goes from there. That's the way I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
You know, it just I've worked, you know, like I say, I'm not going to I'm too long in the tooth to have all that anxiety over deadlines and nonsense like that. So I want a decent product that people are going to enjoy and learn from. But anyway, Dave, the phone is like she's beeping at me. So I'm going to let you go, okay? And send me what you got, and I will be back in touch and give you know what the progress report is on it. And if I got more questions, I'm going to give you a shout.
Okay, well, I'm going to forward you so much stuff that you're going to say, oh, my God.
No, it's all right. Please do. And I will share it with Nate. You know, even though Nate couldn't be here tonight, but he's very, very intrigued by your experiences. So I'm going to get him talking to you. He's going to enjoy this tremendously. I've enjoyed it. So
you could learn a lot from me.
Yeah.
You really could.
Whoop, there go. Yeah, my phone is going. She just beeped. Okay? All right, bye-bye. Okay, so this was the end of the interview with, in almost 2 hours, with Dave Parker from Missouri. It is Thursday, August 8th, going on 7:30 at night. So we have spoken for 1 hour and 53 minutes. A lot of information here. End of recording.